Let's talk about the Republicans now. Ted Cruz outmaneuvering Donald Trump yet again, this time grabbing all the delegates in Colorado. The loss making a contested convention on this side that much more likely. And ABC's David Wright is in Denver this morning covering it all. David, good morning to you.
This was a big victory for Ted Cruz. He's taking home about as many delegates from Colorado as he did from Wisconsin. And Wisconsin was considered a blowout. While Donald Trump is looking ahead to New York, determined to win big in his home state.
God bless the great state of Colorado.
Cruz's campaign has been quietly focused on smaller elections, like this one at the Colorado State GOP convention.
No pawns in D.C.
No primary involved, just party activists auditioning.
511.
Giving 10-second speeches.
For liberty, for Ted Cruz, for freedom.
Hoping to become Colorado's delegates to the Republican National Convention. Ted Cruz won the lot of them. Last night, meeting with Republican Jewish leaders in Nevada, Cruz laid out his strategy for a contested convention.
I believe the first ballot will be the highest vote total Donald Trump receives, and on a subsequent ballot, we're going to win the nomination and earn a majority.
Trump's best hope rests on winning 1,237 delegates. But it's getting harder and harder for him to close the deal. Yesterday, after days of closed-door meetings with top advisors, he emerged to tour the 9/11 Memorial in Lower Manhattan, his first visit there. Afterwards, he quietly gave a $100,000 donation. The Trump campaign admits it now needs to take a much more disciplined approach to the delegate selection process, or they could be in serious danger of being outplayed here. Dan, Cecilia?
Yeah, the stakes are high for all the campaigns here. David, thank you. And for more on all of this, let's bring in ABC News Chief White House Correspondent John Karl. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Excellent.
Let's talk about this cover of the Boston Globe, the front page covered with satirical articles about life under a President Trump. The headline, Deportations to Begin. And inside, there's a really tough editorial. It says, Donald J. Trump's vision for the future of our nation is as deeply disturbing as it is profoundly un-American. Have you ever seen anything like this before? And is it likely to have any effect?
This is pretty dramatic. Did you notice one of the little short items on the front page? Trump on Nobel Prize short list.
Yeah, I don't think they meant
interesting. Look, this is a brutally tough editorial, very stark, one of the starkest I've ever seen. It's not going to affect any of his supporters, obviously. They've supported him through thick and thin. They know exactly what his positions are. They're not going to be deterred by what a liberal editorial page in Boston says. But the point is here, this is exactly what you're going to be seeing if he wins the Republican nomination. This kind of attack coming from the Democrats. I think we've only seen the beginning of what will go against Donald Trump.
Worth noting, Trump did very well in Massachusetts.
He sure did. It was one of his best states, actually, but those were Republicans voting.
Well, let's talk Democrats. Hillary Clinton, if she does not win a majority of the pledged delegates heading into this convention this summer, Bernie Sanders' team is now promising to have a contested convention. What is the likelihood of that happening?
Yeah, they want a contested convention, too.
On the Democratic side now.
Yeah. They want to make sure you have an interesting summer.
Yeah. Look, Bernie Sanders could theoretically get there, but to get to a lead in the so-called pledged delegates, I mean, the Democrats have a very interesting system. They've got these super delegates that are elected officials and other party officials who can vote regardless of how their states voted, and they're obviously almost all for Hillary Clinton. Without those, though, she still has a big lead, and if you take them aside, Bernie Sanders would need to win 57% of the delegates going forward. In other words, he'd have to do a lot better than he's been doing.
How does he look in New York?
He could actually pull it off. It would be a big upset. It would be shocking. He's never won a state as diverse as New York. But, he's got that Brooklyn accent down.
Yes, he does. He drops
he eats
the H's.
pizza the right way.
Yes, passing a lot of tests. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate it. I want to remind everybody, John is going to be part of this week. Later this morning, George Stephanopoulos is going to be talking to Bernie Sanders about his campaign strategy, maybe his pizza-eating strategy as well. And that's coming up later this morning on This Week, right here on ABC. John, thanks again.